Hello everybody, Saintsman here, small van driver on the CX. It's actually Sunday night, Sunday the 17th. Um, yeah, this is the week in the life. Last week, it's been a bit of a manic one. I only worked 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like I said in the last video. Um, it's been good, I've had 4 days off, sort of. We'll go back Monday. Last Monday we started, already got a job booked in, which was Cheltenham and Exeter. Picked that up at 6 o'clock in the morning from Northampton and dropped it off. One drop Cheltenham, one drop Exeter, and got a backload straight away. Just north of Exeter, Crediton, near Crediton. And it's a job I've done before. And it's the famous horse seaman. It's strange. I've done this job 3 times. This is the first time. It's always been frozen in big blue canisters. But this was the first time. Sorry, I'm in a bedroom because my wife's watching TV Sunday night. So I thought I'd call it a bit of quiet. Been busy. Yeah, back to Monday. Digress. Yeah, this horse semen. This time it was fresh. I had to collect it. I was in Exeter by 10:30ish. Yeah, and I had to collect it by 11:30 on the dot from Crediton, which is nice and easy. It's only up the road. It's about 10 mile out of Exeter. And sure enough, yeah. And the lady recognised me because I'd done 2 of these before when they're frozen, in frozen big blue canisters. But this was just in a little box. And literally, literally, it was fresh horse semen. They got stables there. They got the best stallion in Europe, apparently. And I was taking it to a veterinarian, equine vets in Aylesbury, which is great for me because it's 50 mile from home, under 50 mile from home. That's a lie. It's about 45. It was a village just outside Aylesbury. Get coffee. So I had a good day. £300 day, all in, and I was home. I did like 11 and a quarter hours all in. That was it. Didn't have many breaks. Literally for the fuel up, a quick coffee, grab a sandwich. I don't mind. I prefer to do like that. But that was great. First day, £300 and home. And I got a job for the Tuesday booked in, which was again pick up Northampton. This time it was 4:45 start in the morning because I've got to go to Southampton and then to Cardiff. So it was a long old journey across. That paid me 200. It was 4 boxes each, Southampton, Cardiff, and did that. Did a beautiful drive across the Wiltshire Plains. It took me a strange way. It brought me out the bottom of Bath and then up to the M4. But it was gorgeous. Blandford on Avon. I think that was the place I went through. Really nice. I'm going to have to look at that. I'll have to do a bike trip or something on the bike down the southwest. That'd be a good stop. Yeah. So we ended up in Cardiff and it was lunchtime and I got a job. No, it's before lunchtime actually. Got well before lunchtime. And I got a job out of Cardiff to Cambridge. Again, not too shabby because it's not far from where I live. It's under 50 miles away, which to me is, if it's under 50 miles, I'm going home. I got 200 for going down to Cardiff because I did Southampton, Cardiff, and I got 138 quid Cardiff, Cambridge, which was fine for me. And it worked out that day was even better than Monday. So I had 2 cracking days. Long day, it was 12 and a quarter hours, and I didn't, again, I only had a couple of breaks, 2 or 3 breaks. Short breaks, shortish breaks, but it was fine. Nice and easy driving. Had a chat with Neil from Neptune's on the Tuesday, I believe. Yeah, it was Tuesday. I chatted to him. And, yeah, all good. He's all good. He's got his ADR, which he's pleased about for him. That'll really open his possibilities up in Scotland, I thought, because there's oil refineries, there's a lot of stuff goes up there, chemicals, I'll imagine. Let's hope it does. Wednesday I was going to do a shorter day. That was the plan, and it worked out because I was going to do, I ain't got anything booked in, actually, but I was going to do a shorter day because I wanted to get back for bike night, and it was going to be my last day of the week. And I'd also done 2 big days. And when I mean big days, like 300 and 338. So I didn't really want to be doing mountains of work. And then the van was going to be serviced Thursday. I actually started at 9 o'clock. And I got a job which turned out to be a bit of a pain. It was only 59 quid. It was from Courtnall, which is just down the road, a village just outside Northampton. And it was going to Maidenhead, which is okay. I'm getting a little bit near London, but you normally get jobs around there. And I left. I've got to pick it up at 10 o'clock. I left about 9. I thought, I'm going to leave 9. I've got to get some fuel. And I thought, let's get there on time. Sat nav, the postcode they give me took me nowhere near. It wasn't even close. And I knew it was wrong. So it was, in fact, it took me to a village, Hartwell, which it ended up being 5 miles from where I'd got to be in the end. I phoned up the customer. I got a number who explained that they told the office that it was junction 15 of the motorway M1, and it's the big where they're doing a massive amount of work. It's temporary accommodation for builders. They're doing roads, they're doing infrastructure. It's a huge development on junction 15 of the M1. Everyone must have seen it as you're going by. And I was picking up, believe it or not, all their old computer equipment. They've been there that long that they've wore the computer equipment out, and it was going back to their main office, and they'd got all new stuff. So what should have took me hour and a half job, less than that, which 59 quid would have been nice. By the time I picked it up, I was there at 10. I did get there at 10, but I'd left the house say at 9. And by the time we fanning and farted around for 4 big boxes with these stuff in, I left there about 25 past 10, which would have been fine. But I got on the M40 just past the turning for Oxford, which is can't remember now. Off the M40, junction 9, I think it is, for Oxford. And the traffic just come to a gridlock stop. I said I would get there for 11:30, which was feasible. And I had to phone the shipper up and say, this ain't getting there for 11:30. I'm in a massive traffic jam. I'm considering it's going to be 12:15. He said it's fine, it's just returning phones, there's nothing rush about them. I had to phone him again because the traffic was still knackered. There'd been 2 accidents, big accidents. And I actually got off the motorway and got round it, but so did everyone else. And I got there at 12:30. So what should have been an easy job took me 2.5, 3 hours. So it didn't pay brilliant. But I was on a short day and I thought, well, I've had 2 cracking days. It happens. You can't do anything about traffic. If there's an accident, there's an accident, as long as no one's hurt. So I was in Maidenhead, and all I was doing was looking for a job within a 30, 40 mile radius of where I live and get me home. And nothing popped up. It's all going into London. And I don't want to go into London. I'm not interested in central London. Pretty much just can't do it. You go in, you're never going to get out, not on the money that they're quoting. I don't know how they do it. They must co-load. Small vans are co-loading. It's the only way I can see how they make money, because you don't get nowhere in London at the time. So I just sat there. I sat there in Maidenhead, and then there was a job, Beaconsfield, no miles. And straight away you think, as to help a driver, lump some of stuff on. Just about to delete it, looked at it, thought, pick up 3 pallets? What? Read it again, and it was to pick up 3 pallet bases, empty pallets, just pallets with nothing on, from Beaconsfield, and dispose of. That's all it said. Pick up from Beaconsfield and dispose of yourself. And I was like, I'm 10 miles from Beaconsfield. I thought, that could do me, because that's my petrol money home. And funny enough, we live on a big park. We've got a lodge, and we've got ottomans, big ottomans in our garden. We've got 3 of them. 3 big ones and 2 little ones. And the big ones sit on pallets, because I like to get air under them, because they're plastic and they just keep them off the ground. And one of the pallets is rotten. So I thought, do you know what? I'll put a bid in on this. And I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to phone. And I phoned up. And I just says, I'm 10 miles away, so I've got to do 10 miles, and I'll be disposing of them. I'm going to be taking them back to Northampton. is 35 quid any good? And he just went, "This job's yours, mate." He says, "We have this regular. The work they take into this health shop comes on a pallet. The drivers obviously can't take the pallets. When they get 3 or 4 pallets, and it said 4 pallets actually, when they get 3 or 4 pallets, they phone and we have to dispose of them." So I said, "Great, I'll do it for you." So that's what I did. I went 10 miles to Beaconsfield, right in the centre, parked on double yellows, as the man in the shop told me. He brought them through the shop. They weren't even around the back. Um, and it was 3 pallets. I said, "Well, I've actually got down here to collect 4." He said, "Yeah, but today's delivery hasn't come. Should come first thing in the morning. It's not going to get here till 4:30 this afternoon, so you just have to take the 3." Even better. So 3 pallets, and good pallets as well. Decent. So I drove home. That's my day. That's my week. Uh, took these pallets, just put them in the back of the van. They were quite clean as well. They weren't manky or dirty. They were solid pallet. And they got home. And the other pallets come out. I've shifted all the ottomans, the stuff out of the ottomans, all the stuff we keep. Put the ottoman off the old pallets. And 2 of them were rotten. One was rotten underneath. They were cheaper pallets. So they've come out. These have gone in. And that was it. That was a job. I got 35 quid. I got 59 on the first one, which was a job that, if you were doing that regularly, you'd lose a stack of money. 94 quid, all in. So, not too shabby. That's the week done. So, I did, in the end, I did, let me work this out, £732 for 3 days. That's what you call good stuff. Averaged out almost 67 pence every mile. So that was good because I had a fair bit of dead miles on a couple of things. It's all good. I had to drive Cambridge back to Northampton empty, Aylesbury back to Northampton empty. So I took in 100 dead miles there, and the pallets, that was just petrol money home. But I've still done a really good week for me. I normally try and average 200 a day, and I've done 730 quid. So you're looking at an average of about 240, 245 quid. Is that right? 40, 81, 20, yeah, 245. So it's been a good week. The van was then Thursday. I've got a dentist at 9. When I get the van booked in for a service with my mate Darren, he does it in half a day. I leave it with him. I try and get jobs done. So I went to the dentist at 9. I dropped we've got a 7-seater. I dropped that at his garage before. My wife brought me back. I took the van to the dentist, got the dentist done, dropped my van, the Citroen at Darren's for about 9:30, and bought the 7-seater. And come home, got a few jobs done, pretty busy, and went and picked the grandkids up, 5 and a 4-year-old from school. It was brilliant. I hadn't seen them for a bit. They thought it was great because Grandad was picking them up with my wife as well. She was off. And so we had a good time. Darren phoned me up, said, "Van's fine, all done, serviced, no problem." It had gone nearly 2,000 over a service interval. But he said, everything's fine. Brakes all need doing next time, pads. 2 tyres are getting low at the back, but they've still got a bit in them, fair bit in them. He says, but you'll need to change them before I have it next. And everything else, absolutely fine. I hadn't used any oil, changed all the filters, and I got the van back Thursday night. Friday, strange day Friday. I was off Friday because I got a consultant's appointment at Leicester Royal Infirmary Hospital, and I've got to be there at 10. So we left. Judy, my wife, come with me because I have, it's in this eye, which I've got tunnel vision in. This eye's 100% right. Judy, my wife, come because you can't drive after. First time I've gone to Leicester, I'm being referred to this consultant in Leicester who is going to do some sort of open operation on this one, and it will stop any more damage to the eye. Although I've only got tunnel vision anyway, it won't close up completely. And so we set off. I said, let's get there early. Royal Infirmary is a massive hospital in Leicester. And we got just past junction 20, just coming up to junction 21. And my phone went in the van, and it was Leicester Hospital. "Ah, sorry, Mister." My wife answered. She said, "Sorry, but the consultant's phoned in sick. We'll have to rearrange the appointment. Thank you very much." I've been waiting 7 months for this bloody appointment. I know people go sick, but when I'm travelled and I'm an hour up the road and I took a day off and then I get a phone call and I'm half hour away, I'm not happy. Not happy at all. Wife's not particularly happy. I'm very pissed off. But instead of just turning around and going home, we both booked the day off. So it was a waste of a day off, really. It was too late to go back home and look for work, and I weren't interested. I needed to do something. So we decided, let's do something. So I said, well, we're going back to the motorway. Shall we go to Stratford or Warwick or something? And in the end, we said, shall we go Warwick Castle? Never been. We've been to a open air concert in the grounds at night a few years ago, but never been round the castle. So we did that. We got there before they opened, actually. Parked inside. They don't open till 10, and we got there 20 to 10. So we said, well, we had no breakfast. We was going to get some at Leicester Infirmary. So we went into Warwick and found a cracking coffee shop that did masses of gluten-free stuff. It was all cakes and stuff, but it shared its shop, not just a cafe. It was a ladies' hairdressers, so it was half and half. But the cakes were fantastic. We had a cake each, which we shouldn't have, although we've been doing pretty well on the diet. And then we went to Warwick Castle. It ain't cheap, is it? Who's been into Warwick Castle? When you go in, that takes your breath away. 37 quid for me. Judy got it a bit cheaper. Concession, 29. 66 quid to get in. It's better be good. But it didn't disappoint. It didn't disappoint, really. I thought it was pretty good value. There was kids shows, which obviously don't rock our boat, but we went and watched one of them, and we just said, this is a great place to bring the two grandkids or have a family day out. We haven't bought any food or drink with us because I expected to be in hospital. But yeah, it cost us, we'd had so much before we went in, and everything there was expensive. But they did a falcon display. If I knew how to edit it, I took a camera. We had we had eagles going over our heads, just skimming us. Condor, they did a show, a falconry show, and I've been to two or three, but this was the nuts. It's called the Falconer's Quest, and I thought it was brilliant. There was a lot of people there. There was about 5 school buses there, but I thought it was brilliant. And I just thought the whole castle, walking around it, it suits us. Just we'd love doing that, reading about it, the history of it all. Yeah, it was well worth it. We could have stayed there if we'd have took food and drink with us, and the whole shebang. We'd have stayed there all day. We'd have been there till 5 o'clock. We'd have had 6 or 7 hours, and then it ain't expensive. To think when you go and watch a game of football, it can be 70, 100 quid for 90 minutes of shit. We could have gone all day and had a really good day. We did have a good day anyway. It was a very good day. And we should be going back. We said we're going to take a day off in the summer, take the 2 young grandchildren, probably take the older one, and take the 2 daughters as well. Get so we all go, and we'll take all our food with us and a lot. I mean, you can picnic and take the lot with you. So I do recommend it. It is an eye opener. The 37 quid getting in, but once you're in, there's not a lot else to pay for. There is an archery thing. You can fire bow and arrows. I think you have to buy that, but to go round everywhere, the house and everything else was all free. And these shows, if you missed the first show, it's about Zog, my 4-year-old grandson. He knew all about it when we told him about it. But they do about 3 shows a day. So if you miss one, you get another. They do two falconry or 3 falconry shows a day. We see the first one. Brilliant. So, not a lot to do with the CX that, but I'm just telling you, we had a great time. Wasn't what we expected, but it was good. So that's it. Week was done. So I've had a good week. The van's ready to rock and roll. We're trying to get 5 days next week. It is stiflingly hot. I've been fishing today and it was 32 degrees. I've been fishing for about 6 hours. I caught hundreds of fish. They're all tiddlers. Roach, roach and more roach. I was carp fishing with one rod and I was float fishing roach with the other, and I never had one knock on my carp rod. I did, that's a lie. I had two runs on my carp rod, and what was on the end of them? Roach. So if you're a fisherman, you know how act off that was. But on my float rod, I was like this. On a very small lake near where I live. I'd never fished it before, but it was good for roach. But I like catching carp, and the carp weren't playing ball. That's what it is. Yesterday, Saturday, like I say, I didn't have time to do this because I watched Ireland beat New Zealand at rugby, England beat Australia, and then we had a little rest, had some lunch, and then I watched Wales. I was rugbyed out. Wales, South Africa, and I watched Scotland. And fantastic for Ireland, fantastic for England, especially as Courtney Laws is a Northampton player. Lewis Ludden was playing, he's the captain of Northampton. Courtney's the captain of England. And Tommy Freeman plays for us. So three Northampton boys playing. Dan Bigger played, who's captain of Wales. He's a Saints player. They fell short, but tough team against them. So Saturday and Sunday's been pretty hectic. I've been fishing all day today. Didn't have time to do this, but we are now. Fuel prices are going down. I think everyone's in the same boat. I was speaking to Neil. I was speaking to a couple of other guys, and the fuel prices are coming down. Next week, my fuel is about 185. That's both cards. So that's come down another, 5p, which is appreciated because, I mean, it should come down. It should. I've got a job lined up tomorrow. I ain't got to start that early. I should leave the house about 9:15. I'm going into Tall Man, Not So Small Van, as he's now known. I'm going up near him. I might give him a bell actually on the way up tomorrow. I can't remember where it is. It's not far from Whitchurch. That rings a bell. It's in the middle of nowhere. I've got good money because I booked the money on it because I knew I wouldn't get nothing where it is around it. It's between Wrexham and Whitchurch. It's a little village. I'm dropping some stuff off, got to pick up, and I should be looking for work probably out of Nantwich or somewhere like that if I can't get anything at Whitchurch. But that's next week. So it's going to be stifling. It's going to be mega hot next week. Our cafe's not even open tomorrow, Monday, because it's just not worth it. No one's going to come out. It's going to be 40 degrees. And in the kitchen, that is just not doable. So there's a lot of, in the park that they're in, the garden centre, village, everything, a lot of the businesses are not opening. Not a business not opening. And we're one of them because it's just pointless. It was starting up today. They took about half what they normally take on a Sunday. And it was starting up Saturday, but they had a big group of a clubbing, like minis, all 60 odd minis for breakfast. But it's if I hadn't had that, that would have been a brilliant day either. So yeah, it's just not worth financially opening, to be honest. So that's it. That's this week done. Again, another good week for me. Only 3 days, but I made a good money in like 3 days. What I'm hearing, it's picking up. There's another guy, Anvil Logistics. I'm reading about him. He's just started. Nice, good videos. Can't think of his name. Comes near from Manchester sort of way. I chatted with Neil. I'll have a chat with I'm gonna have a chat with Tall Man, Small Van probably, and Neil next week. It's good to chat when you're bored or something like that, or you want to have a little chit, see how everyone's getting on. And we're hoping to smash it next week and make a few bob. I should be working now pretty much right through until September. I've got a week in September off. But unless anything dramatic happens, which we hope it don't, then I'm going to be working right the way through to get some money in. So, hope you're all doing well. Speak soon.